Hi, we are here to assess how efficient your customer support is. Now, that main goal can be subdivided into two sub-goals. So the first is which type of customer support is more efficient, and you have three types of customer support: email, web form, and live chat, and also which teams are doing more or better work, or just simply more efficient. So you have four teams that are green, blue, red, orange, and they each do the three different types of ticket. But yeah, so let's get into it. So the first plot we have here is the percentage of satisfied customers per team. So first thing you can see is Team Orange is really lackluster with around only 5% of their customers being considered satisfied. And a satisfied customer, by the way, is one that has given a rating of 4 or higher, so that's 4 or 5, you rate out of 5, and that also has labeled their problem as resolved, right? So Team Green and Team Red seem to have the highest overall scores. Team Blue not far behind at all around 20 to 25%. Team Orange again quite dismal here. What you can actually do is take a look at the individuals in each team, and you can see which individuals are performing best, right? So Team Orange, it's again not very good. If you go over to Team Blue, you see that there's actually quite a bit of variance in Team Blue. Some, like there's at least one member in Team Blue that is doing as bad as the worst members in Team Orange, and then you have like another couple who are basically carrying the team. Same for Team Green. There's like at least one that's not doing so well, but most are around the 20 to 30%, with one person really close to 40 something percent. So maybe give them a raise or something. Team Red also pretty good. Next, I wanted to look at the total number of tickets per employee. So the first plot was more looking at the quality of work that each employee does, or that each team does on average. This is more quantity. So you can see Team Green, as well as having the best quality, also has the highest quantity. Team Blue and Red not far behind. Team Orange again trailing, although not by that much, but they are trailing behind all the other teams. So on both quality and quantity, Team Orange seems to be doing the worst. Next, I would like to look at the ticket types themselves, and specifically the duration it takes to process a ticket. So the first plot we have here, this is called a violin plot in case you don't know. So where the plot is widest means that tickets of that duration are more frequent, say, than tickets of, so like at 500, the tickets are more frequent than tickets at 2000, right? This is just what that is. And you can see that, so this plot right here is the total duration for ticket type, and the total duration is measured from the moment a ticket is created to the moment it is considered resolved, right? So that's more from the moment the user hits submit to the moment they consider that ticket to be resolved. So web form and email are take significantly longer to address, if you will, from a user perspective. Like if I was a user, on average, I'd be waiting around 500 minutes for a web form or email to be responded to, as opposed to live chat where it takes around 20 minutes. That's something to consider. Next, we look at the total, or rather the duration of response for ticket type. So this is a different variable in the sense that this is just an internal metric. So all it measures is rather than from the moment the user submits, the user submits to the moment they get back the ticket. This is the moment a customer service representative picks up a ticket to the moment they consider it resolved. So here it's a lot more neck and neck. as compared to the previous plot, and live chat is actually, not too surprisingly, it's almost it's identical with its total duration, because obviously it's the nature of live chat. You just get through the ticket, you know, live, and like, the interesting thing though is that web form and email, like, even though they take so much longer to, like, from start to finish, the time it takes to resolve a ticket internally, like, it doesn't take a customer service representative that much longer to resolve a ticket using web form or email compared to live chat. So, like, the discrepancy between how long it takes just to resolve an internal basis and how long it takes to get back to the users is something that could be looked at. Um, Next, I wanted to look at the so, like, this combines two of the elements that we're looking at. So mainly the teams and the types of ticket. So this is just a breakdown of what team. So, like, the bigger the box, the higher quantity. So for example, Team Green does the majority of the workload. Team Red and Blue not fairly even, but slightly less so, and Team Orange the least workload. And you can actually click on, say, Team Green and see the distribution of ticket types within Team Green. So if we go back, most of the teams are doing a very minimal amount of live chat, with the exception being Team Orange here, which is doing like almost a third of its work, or maybe a quarter in live chat, which is actually, like, it's different from all of the other teams. So that got me thinking: is that perhaps the reason why Team Orange is performing so poorly? So I wanted to look at, okay, well, if Team Orange is doing more live chat than the other teams, maybe live chat just has a much lower score on average related to it, and that is what accounts for their score being so bad. But I looked at the average customer satisfaction for ticket type, which is this plot here, and you can see there is, like, negligible difference between the ticket types, and so that's not that. Like, Team Orange is just, like, bad on its own, right? And for a bonus plot, I just wanted to look at. Um, I had this idea that perhaps the hour in which a ticket is resolved, meaning the hour of day in which the customer is rating, might have a relation to the customer satisfaction score. So, for example, if I, as a customer, am um, rating something at 8 in the morning, I might be not a morning person. I might be a bit more cranky than at 8 at night, or 2 in the morning, 2 at night. But there's no relation to speak of here. These spikes at the end, that isn't that isn't really because of some relationship between the hour resolved and the customer satisfaction. That's just because we have a lot less data points at these hours, because there's a lot less tickets being done. Perhaps that's when a couple of employees are hanging back doing overtime, and yeah, so the variance, and you can see the variance in the error bars around each plot. So here the variance isn't that big, and the variance gets really big towards the end, meaning the data becomes unreliable. But one thing that is cool to look at is just the work days of each team. So like, all of the teams start at 8 in the morning and then they conclude at 8 at night, except for Team Blue here goes an extra couple of hours. So yeah, that's just something to consider, I guess. All right, thank you.